and he who has lied has failed. I wish to share with you 3 accounts. The first of them, a contemporary writer shares an account that he witnessed. He says that the perpetrator narrates, in my teenage years, I had fallen out with a fellow student who was excelling academically, and so motivated by spite, I decided to sabotage his future. On one morning, I arrived early at school with marijuana, which I and some friends occasionally used. I discreetly placed it in the other student's bag. Then I subtly suggested to a friend to inform the authorities about a supposed drug dealer on the school premises. Everything unfolded as I had planned. And ever since that day, I have been plagued by the consequences of my injustice. 2 years ago, I was in a car accident that resulted in the loss of my right arm, and driven by guilt, I went to the student's house to seek forgiveness. However, he rejected my apology, and he explained how my actions had irrevocably harmed his reputation and alienated him from his family. He confided that he prays every night for my downfall, and he has lost everything because of me. It seems his prayers were heard, as I was involved in yet another car accident, leaving me paralyzed and bound to a wheelchair. He said, despite my current sufferings, my deepest fear is what lies beyond this life. I constantly wonder about the reckoning that awaits me with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How true were the words of Allah Almighty when He said, وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنِ افْتَرَى, and he who lies has failed. The second account I wish to share with you this time pertains to a university lecturer who had been divorced twice. She said, my story with injustice happened 7 years ago. After my second divorce, I wanted to marry a cousin of mine who was already happily married with 5 children. And so to achieve so, I conspired with another cousin of mine, who also wanted to marry the wife of the husband that I wanted. We wanted to forge a lie against the wife, accusing her of unfaithfulness to her husband. We launched our smear campaign amidst the family, and with the passage of just a little bit of time, their relationship fell apart and ended with divorce. A year later, the lady whom we had defamed remarried a man of high status. And as for the man I desired, he married a different woman. And so both me and my cousin who conspired did not achieve our goal. We, however, reaped something else, the bitter fruits of our lies. I have now been diagnosed with leukemia, whilst my cousin was fried to death after having made contact with a live electrical wire, along with another man who had provided us with the false statement to support our lies against that innocent woman. He also died. She said all of this happened within just 3 years of the incident. How true is the promise of Allah, وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنِ افْتَرَى, and he who lies has failed. People's motives for giving intentionally false information vary. Some do it in pursuit of fame and amassing a viewership. They know that hype and sensationalism sells. Some do so for a financial return. Some forge lies during a dispute with a colleague at work to retain a position. Some do so out of sheer envy. Some do so against family members to harm them and to save themselves. Others perhaps do so towards an ex-spouse in order to maximize harm, whether financial or reputational or in child custody proceedings. Whatever the reason may be, the Quranic principle is a generic one and spells out an identical outcome each and every time. وَقَدْ خَابَ مَنِ افْتَرَى.